Hello, my name is Connor Kearse. I am a communication studies major and a theater minor at UNC Greensboro, and this is my linguistic odyssey. My family has a long history in the southern states of colonial America. Some of the Kearse clan, which is my father's side of the family, and some of the Dixon clan, which is my mother's side of the family, have roots dating all the way back then. So we definitely come from the deep south. Many of my ancestors are European. I have a little bit of Dutch and German in me, as well as a little bit of Cherokee. Most of my European roots, however, come from Ireland. My great-grandmother on my mother's side, Sarah O'Connor, is where I get both my name and my Irish heritage from. She moved to America and settled in South Carolina, where they would raise my grandmother along with her 6 siblings. My father's side of the family has been here in the South for a very long time. The Kearses were plantation owners and even have family who fought in the Revolution. All in all, definitely a lot of family ties to the South. While my family has a long history in the South, I didn't develop much of a Southern accent because my immediate family lived close to downtown Charlotte, which is more urban and diverse. Both of my parents are scholarly people, having both graduated with master's degrees, and my mother even became an English teacher. While they were both well-spoken, my grandparents on both sides have thick Southern accents. So my parents will let the Southern twang come out under stress or when with other family. Both of my parents and grandparents helped to raise me as I was learning to speak, but I was also learning from other members of my church community as well as from school. This is why I believe I have what people consider to be a standard American accent with a small hint of a Southern drawl and twang. When I was younger, my mother would read children's stories to me. We had the classic stories like Good Night Moon and Where the Wild Things Are, but one of my favorite stories, and a story that I definitely think helped me to develop a proper sense of language, was a story called Tops and Bottoms. It's the story of a bear who owns a farm and his rabbit neighbor. The rabbit ends up using language to trick the bear and farm his crops. It helps me to create an idea of how people can actually use words and language as a way to get what they desire. Like I said before, I was raised mostly by my parents and grandparents, but I was also cared for by members of the church that I attended. Much of the congregation there were scholarly, middle to upper class folks, and many of them were also from urban areas, so the southern accent wasn't really prevalent. The city of Charlotte is also a diverse place, with people from many parts of the country. I met quite a few people, many with southern accents, but others with more standard accents, as well as those with accents from up north or to the Midwest. My family uses language in various ways. My mother is a storyteller, using language to paint a picture of her ideas and her goals. My father uses language more for utility, discussing with his clients what their problems are and what solutions he can find. Mostly, though, language was used in our house as a way to bring us closer together. Dinner was a time where we could all recap our day, discuss what might be coming up, and to just have fun with each other. Language was a way for us as kids to express ourselves so we could forge our own paths as adults. When I got to high school, I had yet to be exposed to other languages, and after my sister followed our mother and learned French, I decided I would give it a try as well. I took 2 years of French classes, and right before starting the third, I decided French wasn't for me. I then took 2 years of Spanish, thinking that it might be easier to learn than French, and boy was I wrong. Both languages proved to be too difficult for me to grasp properly, and so I left high school as a unilingual student. After I got to college and changed my major, I was required again to retake a language course, and having previously failed, at any other spoken language, I decided that I might try my hand at ASL, or American Sign Language. It turned out to be a much easier language for me to understand and translate on the fly. I consider myself more of a visual learner, so I believe this helped when first learning ASL. To this day, I will use ASL in my daily life, mostly for emphasis for whatever I am saying in English, but to also interact with the deaf community where I live. There are not many places I will change the way I speak, but work definitely fits the bill. Where I work is a very close-up and personal workspace. The customers are usually only a feet away from you, so interactions with them can get personal. When I find myself in this spot, I pull out my customer voice. It is more high-pitched and upbeat than I normally speak, and this helps me to maintain a positive and chipper demeanor which customers prefer. For me, my language is a part of my identity, as it unites all the people in my life with whom I care for and love dearly. It connects me to my family through our similar speech patterns and familiarity of certain phrases and lingo, and it helps me connect to my roots, even way over in Ireland. When I studied abroad there, it was a fascinating experience to speak my native tongue and to have it spoken back to me in a way that I understand and yet is completely different.